Hey everyone, welcome back to rCast. Today we're diving into something that's been hitting all of our wallets lately, the great streaming service exodus of 2024. You know, it's kind of ironic. Just a few years ago, we were all celebrating cutting our cable cords thinking we'd outsmarted the system. But oh boy, were we in for a surprise. Let me throw some mind-blowing numbers at you. The average American is now spending $42.38 per month on streaming services. That's down 23% from last year. And let me tell you why this is absolutely fascinating. Picture this. You're sitting there, remote in hand, scrolling through Netflix, Disney+, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Paramount+, Peacock, Apple TV+, and whatever other plus they've invented this week. You're paying more than ever, but somehow feeling like you're getting less. It's like going to a restaurant where they keep raising the prices while making the portions smaller and then having the audacity to ask you to wash your own dishes. Here's what's really interesting. 43% of streaming subscriptions are now ad-supported. Remember when we fled cable TV to escape ads? Well, surprise! They're back and they're louder than ever. It's like that horror movie villain that just won't stay dead. But here's where it gets really juicy. The streaming services have created what I like to call the great content scatter. Imagine you want to watch your favorite show. Season 1 is on Netflix, Season 2 is on Paramount+, and Seasons 3 through 5 are exclusively available on some streaming service named after a fruit or a peacock. It's like they're running a twisted scavenger hunt with our favorite shows as bait. And don't even get me started on the password-sharing crackdown. Remember when Netflix literally tweeted, "Love is sharing a password"? Well, apparently Love has an expiration date, and it's your next billing cycle. You know what's really wild? While streaming services are playing this game of corporate musical chairs, people are getting creative. I've been seeing this fascinating trend where folks are going back to basics. And by basics, I mean building their own personal Netflix in their basement. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine having every show, every movie, every documentary you've ever wanted to watch all in one place. No more juggling 8 different apps, no more "this content isn't available in your region" nonsense. Just pure, uninterrupted entertainment. It's like having your own personal Blockbuster minus the late fees and that weird carpet smell. And speaking of Blockbuster, physical media is making this unexpected comeback. You've got people hitting up their local libraries, dusting off those DVD players, and building these impressive collections. It's like vinyl records all over again, but for movies. There's something oddly satisfying about holding an actual disc in your hands instead of just clicking through another soulless menu. But here's the real kicker. These streaming services seem to have forgotten the golden rule of entertainment. Convenience is king. When Netflix first hit the scene, it was a game changer because it was easier than driving to the video store. Now, they've made it so complicated that people are literally building their own streaming services at home. The numbers don't lie. 27% of Americans are experiencing what they're calling streaming fatigue. That's right. We're tired of streaming. How crazy is that? It's like being tired of electricity or indoor plumbing, but when you're paying more than $500 a year just to watch ads and hunt for content across multiple platforms, something's got to give. And let's talk about these ads for a second. Remember when you'd upgrade to premium to avoid ads? Well, now they've got premium with ads, premium without ads, ultra premium, mega premium, premium plus. I'm pretty sure I saw a streaming service offering a premium tier the other day. It's getting so ridiculous. I'm half expecting them to start offering a subscription tier where you have to solve a riddle before each episode. And you know what's even more fascinating? Cable TV subscriptions are actually going up. That's right, up 11% while streaming is tanking. It's like watching your ex get their life together right after you broke up with them. The irony is just delicious, but let's talk about what people are actually doing to fight back against this streaming madness. I'm seeing this incredible renaissance of home media setups. People are getting creative with their entertainment, and honestly, it's pretty impressive. We're talking about folks setting up these amazing home servers. Think of it like having your own personal Fort Knox of entertainment. You've got services like Plex, MB, and Jellyfin becoming the new cool kids on the block. And get this, people are spending about $700 on a nice setup with some serious storage space, and boom. They've basically paid for what would have been 2 years of streaming services. Talk about playing the long game. And here's something that'll blow your mind. Libraries. Remember those? Turns out they're not just for books anymore. They've got these amazing free streaming services like Canopy and Hoopla. It's like finding out that your quiet, bookish neighbor is secretly a superhero. These services are just sitting there, completely free, paid for by your tax dollars, and most people don't even know about them. The streaming companies tried to pull this classic bait and switch on us. First, they lured us in with convenience and reasonable prices. Then, when they thought they had us hooked, they started turning up the heat. It's like that old story about boiling a frog, except this time the frog got wise and jumped out of the pot. You want to know something really wild? The average American watches nearly 4 hours of streaming content every day. 4 hours! That's like watching The Lord of the Rings extended edition every single day and still having time left over for a couple of episodes of The Office. And they expect us to pay premium prices for all these different services just to maintain that habit? It's no wonder people are looking for alternatives. Now, let me put on my fortune teller hat for a second and tell you where I think this whole streaming circus is headed. You see, we're witnessing what I call the Great Streaming Correction. It's like watching a bunch of kids fighting over the same piece of candy until they all end up dropping it in the dirt. These streaming services are playing a dangerous game of chicken with their customers. They keep pushing prices up, thinking we'll just keep paying because, hey, what choice do we have? But here's the thing, people are getting savvy. They're rotating subscriptions like they're playing musical chairs. Sign up for Netflix for a month, binge Stranger Things, cancel, move to Disney Plus for some Marvel content, cancel, rinse, and repeat. It's like entertainment guerrilla warfare. And let's talk about these exclusive originals for a minute. Remember when that meant something special? Now every platform is pumping out content like there's no tomorrow. Half of it gets canceled after one season, leaving us hanging like we're on the world's most frustrating cliffhanger. It's the TV equivalent of getting ghosted after a great first date. Here's a wild prediction for you. I think we're going to see some of these streaming services start to collapse or merge in the next few years. They can't all survive this race to the bottom. It's like they're all trying to be the next Netflix, but they forgot that even Netflix isn't doing great at being Netflix anymore. And speaking of Netflix, let's talk about their brilliant idea to crack down on password sharing. You know what happened? People didn't rush to get their own accounts. They just left. It's like Netflix forgot the first rule of relationships. Don't take your loyal customers for granted. They thought they were calling our bluff, but turns out we weren't bluffing. The really fascinating part is watching how people are adapting. There's this whole underground renaissance of tech-savvy folks building these incredible home media servers. They're like the modern-day equivalent of those guys who used to build custom hot rods in their garage. Except instead of souping up cars, they're creating these amazing personal streaming setups that would make Netflix executives weep. So, what's the takeaway from all this? What can you, my amazing viewers, do about this streaming chaos? Well, I've got some practical tips that might just save your sanity and your wallet. First off, if you're not ready to dive into the world of home media servers, try the rotation method. Pick 1 or 2 services at a time, binge what you want to watch, then switch to different ones next month. It's like having a streaming buffet, but you're only paying for the food you're actually eating. Second, don't sleep on your local library. Seriously, folks, it's like this hidden treasure trove of entertainment that we're all already paying for through our taxes. Canopy and Hoopla are absolute game changers, and they've got some seriously good content. We're talking award-winning films, documentaries, and yes, even those obscure foreign films you pretend to understand. Third, if you're feeling tech-savvy, consider investing in your own media setup. Yes, there's an upfront cost, but think about it. You're probably spending $500 a year on streaming services anyway. A decent setup will pay for itself faster than you can say Netflix and chill. And here's my final thought for today. Remember why we all fell in love with streaming in the first place. It wasn't about having 50 different subscriptions or watching ads every 5 minutes. It was about convenience, value, and having entertainment on our own terms. Maybe it's time we took that power back. Before I wrap up, I want to hear from you guys. What's your streaming strategy? Are you part of the great streaming exodus? Maybe you've built your own awesome home media setup? Drop a comment below and let's get a conversation going. And hey, if you found this information helpful, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring that notification bell. This is rCast, where we keep it real about tech, entertainment, and everything in between. Until next time, keep streaming smart. And remember, sometimes the best solutions are the ones we create ourselves. Peace out.